Why aren't there any Pokemon cards? Why aren't there any booster boxes? Why can't I get any Final Fantasy? Why can't I have the things that I want? Because that's life. That's the way things are. You pursue that, which recedes from you. The early days of Magic the Gathering, and I'm sure Pokemon, I don't remember the early days of Pokemon because I didn't collect Pokemon, but I'm sure that Pokemon was like this too, and Pokemon has been like this many times, but the very beginning, the very first collectible card game, Magic the Gathering, came out as first alpha, then beta, then unlimited, and then Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities. I never saw any of these. They may have existed at game stores in Toronto near me, and maybe I saw packs of these, but I don't think I ever opened any of those. Any of the Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities. And most people did not open packs of this. Not in the time that they released, not in the, like, say, the first week of release, the first 2 weeks of release, the first 3 months of release. These basically came and they went because when it first came out, demand kept escalating and stores, including convenience stores and gas stations that were carrying it, because there weren't that many game stores back then, and a lot of this stuff was sold in places that weren't game stores. But the point is that they didn't stay on shelves because there wasn't enough product, and every time a new set came out, it disappeared. A lot of people talk about this, and I only remember it based on not seeing it. I don't remember these things disappearing immediately because I never got the chance to even see them. The stores themselves would keep ordering more and more because of how much in demand this was, and they were hoping that, I need 10 boxes, so I'll order 20. And then the next time, because I only got 2 boxes, I'm going to order 50. And then I got 4 boxes, so now I'm going to order 100 boxes. And now I got 10 boxes, or now I got 5 boxes, so I'm going to order 500 boxes. And then came Fallen Empires, Homelands, and Revised. And they got everything they asked for. But unfortunately, they got everything that they asked for, and everybody got everything that they asked for. And the prices collapsed, and it was difficult to move this stuff because of how much it was. And also, the people that ordered 500 boxes could only actually pay for 20 or 30. And either they scrounged to try and pay for the 500 boxes, or they refused, and then maybe they got cut off by distribution or whatever. The point is, there was a glut of this stuff during that time period. And this is when I was buying cards. This is, I think, Revised was probably the first pack that I opened, the first starter deck that I opened, when it was basically, at this point, easily available, right? It wasn't like a glut at that point when I bought it. I think there was still like maybe a couple booster boxes and some starter decks, and it did sell out, but more and more kept coming, and stores were overwhelmed and unable to move that amount of product, and they had never anticipated having to move that amount of product. And also, I think that Revised and Homelands and Fallen Empires were depowered from the Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Arabian Nights, Legends, and Antiquities. So there was that problem as well. So we're in a period where you can't get the thing that you want, whether it's Final Fantasy, whether it's the latest Pokemon sets. And it's similar to that period, except that there's a lot more people interested in this stuff and a lot more demand. And yes, a lot more product, but product is not meeting demand at this point in time. And I'm not sure how it was back then with, flippers, scalpers, resellers. There certainly was no whatnot streaming. So the demand itself right now is not true demand. There's a certain percentage of it, whether it's 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, or 50%. And it's bad if it's 50% fake demand. Demand that isn't something that people. So the real demand is that people want the things, and they've always wanted the things, meaning that they were collecting Scarlet and Violet in 2022 at the same level that they're trying to collect the latest Scarlet and Violet sets. Or they played Magic the Gathering in 2022 and they play it at the same level. Their demand is at the same level, hasn't increased, right? And it becomes less and less true demand the more people's demand has increased over time, right? And not in an organic way. And the least organic way is someone who has never at any point flipped or scalped or resold or whatever a Pokemon box or a Magic box until January of this year or December of last year when Surging Sparks and Prismatic Evolutions were going crazy, or now with Final Fantasy. So that kind of demand is ephemeral, and it will disappear the minute there's a whiff of losing money, right? The demand goes away, and these people will be stuck holding the bag, and they'll try to dump their stuff, and then all this will snowball into another bear market for collectible card games. And that's good news for the person who can't get the cards that they want, can't get the boxes that they want, can't get the packs that they want. You'll be able to get it. There'll be a lot of it. And you'll be able to get it for cheap. It'll be well below MSRP. And it'll be fine. Just wait. You're not really missing out on much right now. There's too much of a frenzy as far as most of us are concerned, at least the people that have been paying attention to market cycles. This is just, it's a little too much. It's a little over the top, and it's a little tiring, and we're getting kind of sick of it. So you might be getting sick of not having the stuff, and a lot of us are just sick of, hi, do you have this? Nope, don't got that. Hi, do you have this? No, don't got that. And knowing that you're never going to hear from those people ever again when that stuff fizzles out. They don't care about this stuff. They're not interested. They're not going to come and buy it from you when they can get it. They only want it because they can't get it because you pursue that which recedes from you. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.